Absolutely not. Imagine.
And we're back.
Hey,
It's another episode.
we're still.
How you guys feeling today? Come on.
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Tariq, how you feeling, bro?
We're good.
How you guys feeling about the change?
See,
The
you say
turnover.
change. You say change.
Did you disagree with me, bro?
I say movement.
Movement?
Movement's fine.
Okay, you know what? I agree with that.
Three.
It's supposed to be a movement, but right now I was looking at the trend.
I'm more with him.
I can agree with you.
I'm
on
just
that.
100% with him.
Just in terms, you know what? We might as well start off with the key thing.
Go on then.
In terms of trend, I'm sure we're all talking about people jumping on the Black Lives Matter bandwagon.
Yeah, like why are we wagoning social movement?
Not even bandwagoning the social movement. This is something that holds a certain level of importance. It has to be taken seriously, otherwise it just will not work.
Completely. In fact, we have a section where we're talking about other protests, but
So
sorry, go on.
literally it's a case of where I'm thinking, right, the message is out there. People know what the message is. Alright, people claim to know what the message is. I'm sure we all understand what the message is trying to say. We all want equality. And what comes under equality. What it seems everyone else has that we don't seem to get. We might get it in drips and drabs, but we never actually experience the full extent of it.
Yeah.
We're told we have it. We're told that the reason why you can't see you have it is because you're not looking hard enough, not working hard enough. But even when you're putting in those efforts, things are still not happening. But with the coming and recent events, I'm sure we've all seen the change, active change that's going on. For example, we can't change the world in a day. Rome wasn't built in a day. I don't think the world was made in a day. We've got to remember that it takes time. Changing a single variable can be the start of you changing the world, for example. Like,
I think you can say that for the Americans because they've been on top of protesting and radical movement. Like New York, bro. New York have been protesting every day for the last 30 days straight. That's the sort of energy that we need globally.
Yeah.
So I know we're gonna get onto this, but as Tariq said before, this is low key looking like a trend.
Okay.
It's like, bro, we protest weekends every weekend. Like we're not in a lockdown and like people aren't
risking their lives for change.
All of that alongside the fact that, bro, half the man are working. Like 90% of people are working from home.
Fair enough.
Even me now, I'm supposed to be working, but I'm here.
Literally.
Come on, man. So we're not gonna act like time isn't available.
Okay.
Is my
case of. So when we say bandwagon, we're clarifying. We're not saying that people advocating for the cause is a bad thing. We're saying the way you advocate for the cause is extremely important because a message the point of a message can be lost the more times it's passed down, especially if people don't understand the clarity that's needed behind it. For example, I saw a tweet going around about Terry Crews saying that Black Lives Matter can't turn into Black Lives Better.
See now,
I don't see what that connotation has to do with anything that's going on. We're not trying to say that.
Tina actually said something very poignant, like good. Yeah. She went, you really originated Black Lives Better off of your own thinking and your own understanding of the flipping movement as a whole. Which has just in this statement, you've just given the opposition, which is racist people, not white people, just racist people, more ammo to go do stupid nonsense like White Lives Matter, etc.
White Lives Matter. All these people are here to overthrow us. Because I understand where people are saying when you do start to cross that thin line of Black Lives Better, it starts to turn into black supremacy. Some people say we can't have black supremacy. I said yes. In a place where we are a minority, we can't. But let's say we went back to somewhere like Africa, for example. I wouldn't. More than possible.
I wouldn't advocate for supremacy in any shape. But
it can turn into something like that.
That's against equality. It's like there's a running joke in comedy about female comedians do this where they'll go, women don't want to be equal to men. They want to be better than men.
Okay, I can get that. The neo-feminist movement.
It's really just the comedic aspect of some people's stand up.
It's like when people compare female basketball and men's basketball.
Yeah, and not because intrinsically women think they're better than men. Yeah. Men think they're better than women. But it works both ways. Conversely,
that label with men and women, people generally want to be better than
exactly.
Other people.
So it's just a running joke at this point. I forgot what my point was going to be. I hate it here. It's such a good point.
Wait, you were talking about the message getting lost.
Message getting lost. Okay, supremacy.
Yeah,
So we can't really. I don't advocate for say black supremacy because that goes against equality.
Literally, and it goes against what we're fighting for. Because initially, what we're saying is, all right, you've been on top for so long. You've kind of benefited us off of our living. Now it's our turn.
Yeah, and
but
that's not it.
That's where the message get, and I feel like that's where people are kind of not realizing that what you say and how you advocate for the cause is extremely important. Don't then start throwing your own humane selfishness in, thinking, rah, me saying this is me advocate for the cause. Yeah, no, we need our lives, but no, we need this. They've had this, so it's now our turn to do this. That's not what we're saying at all. What we're saying is we want to be able to live in peace. You want to be able to live in a times where our country won't be raped and pillaged all the time. In a place where we know that if we go for a job interview and my name is Merci Nyamuhira, I know I'm going to have the same chance as James
because
Kendrick.
Statistically speaking, you are 70%.
James
Kendrick. Powerful name. Statistically speaking, you're what? I forgot the studies, the actual stat, but it was above 70%. You are above 70% less likely to get a job with a quote ethnic name.
Definitely.
Deep that.
But we know this for time. Think about it. Like even when you're doing.
But then it's like it's that was my point. Okay, so it's like imagine as individuals, as black individuals, imagine how hard that must be on your mental every day, knowing that you have to work 10 times harder than the person that may be underqualified, may not be as qualified, might be as qualified as you. Literally. In every instance, bro. When I was trying to get a job, fam, the amount of interviews I thought I did really, really well in,
and you don't get
the job, and I'm deep in. I'm listening to man speak in the common room and like, I ain't even prepared for this. These times I've done 2 weeks of 8 hours of flipping research every day. I know I can tell you the ins and outs of a company, this, that, and the other.
That's the white privilege you don't acknowledge.
Never acknowledge,
and it's something I feel.
But conversely, I can understand or I can empathize with people that might be annoyed with the movement or the protest as a whole. Not because they're racist individuals, but because imagine being white and underprivileged. In a society where you feel or you must feel entitled to so much. Literally. So imagine being a poor white person and then having to listen to Black Lives Matter and only Black Lives Matter, when these times, bro,
only Black Lives Matter, but then not being allowed to say White Lives Matter.
Yeah,
being.
I mean, it's like
it's a tough line.
It's like that should never run like White Lives Matter. That's some nonsense. But at the same time, if I'm white and I'm poor, and my child is starving, and they don't have clothes and this, that, and the other, and I'm basically living the same or similar lives to a lot of the black community, I would be somewhat frustrated
if you were then to kind of be brushed under the carpet, because that's necessarily what's happening.
Really what it would be.
It's not what the movement implies or wants to do, but it's kind of what's happening, and I can understand where you're coming from. But even in that sense, you can still actively make that change. It's going to be hard, yes, I think, but you can still act, because like you said, they are still within a place of privilege. So if they were to then go and apply themselves and then begin working hard, for us, we have to work 10 times harder. They're going in there 5 times harder.
I'm not trying to support any of these people or any of these White Lives Matter.
I'm just saying that it would be easier for them.
If
they were to try. Because let's say, for example, you have an underprivileged young black boy and underprivileged young white boy. You put them both in work experience, right? And you say, at the end of this work experience, one of you is going to have this job. We all know, before the employers even looked at their skills, seeing what they can do, the young white boy is going to have a higher chance of getting that job, simply because even without them knowing anything about them, subconsciously they know, there's a higher chance he's probably going to be from a higher economic background, probably be more educated, probably be more well articulated, and just fit into the environment better.
No, that's their assumption.
However, when it now comes down to it, and you have this young white boy working 5 times as hard, he's still working hard. But you have this black boy working 10 times as hard. He's getting there 1 hour early, leaving there 2 hours late. He's making sure you see that he wants to get this job. And this boy is getting on time, might be late once in a while. She's always trying to leave early.
There's a lot more leeway.
Sick days. But he's getting the leeway, and then at the end, it comes down to the evaluation. Now, we will have to ask ourselves this question, right? At the end of that evaluation, bearing in mind all of these things that the employer has seen everything that he now knows, who, in your honest opinion, do you believe would get that job?
The white one.
We all know this. We all know it's true.
But we can't.
But it's something that's hard to accept. It's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
And that's where I feel is the next thing that we need to tackle. Because the protests, petitions, and things are fine. But when it comes to turnovers, as a community, I feel like we're kind of slow. We get hung up on the one thing and we ride this train until we can't ride it no more. We need to learn to once we're on this train, the stop's coming. We've got to jump off and get on the next line. Do you know?
I don't know for you, man, but I don't like. Again, we're gonna get into it. Me and Tariq will talk about the flipping. We'll talk about the protest later. But I always feel that there's a big divide with black people as a whole. Definitely. And black culture, and I also feel that a lot of the time we don't help ourselves.
Definitely,
we don't help ourselves. For example, them bricks of the flipping. Fam, it pissed me off so much, bro. The block parties in Brixton that were done under the pretense of Black Lives Matter block party. I'm like, bro, well, don't associate the thing with
under Mayne.
Is that the one that ended
completely
with the news report from that girl on Snapchat?
Yeah.
When they
you know what else I find quite funny, right? We're here in a time I didn't know it was involved with the Black Lives Matter thing. Now that completely changed the context.
Yeah, see,
the way
they were
people
advertising
bigging up
it.
this
I'm
snap
like,
and stuff, saying
man.
she's really doing newspaper thing. Why is that really what we're bigging her up for? I mean, are we misunderstanding? Because people constantly call us animals, say that we are unorganized, say that we're ungrateful, this, that, we're violent, angry. And it seems that time and time again, no matter how hard we fight to remove that negative connotation,
there's always one.
There's always that one or that group that just decides, you know what, we don't necessarily care. We only care about us.
Just stupidity,
and,
bro.
That's just
kind
of man.
Gassed off of chasing some police out of the
area stuff. Because I thought they were doing it for good. I thought the police were bothering someone. I did not know that the police generally came to break up a Black Lives Matter block.
Black Lives Matter block, bro. Like, why? What are you gaining from running a Black Lives Matter?
It's do me a favor, please. Get out of here, man.
Get
out of here, man. I did not know that. I did not know that at all. That's disgusting. Number one, because we got to remember where this started from. This started off the back of the death of a man.
Honestly.
So this is the train you're riding. See, this is what I mean. People forget about the come up. The come up is extremely important, and people forget where you've come from and where you're going to end up. All tie into place. They all come into place. The incident with George Floyd and where we are now. The man died, people have been prosecuted, and people are still being prosecuted. That's the only thing that's going on. That's a completely different train line. This is what I mean.
Don't get twisted though. There's still not enough action.
That's what I mean. There's still not enough, but that's because
say Breonna Taylor's murderers.
There we go.
Hey, yo, you know what's killing me on Twitter was the general attorney of, oh my god, is it Houston?
Engaged.
Yeah. My man went to his engagement party. Yeah, and you see his wife, wife, and you're like, you don't want to. Obviously, you don't
want to assume.
Yeah, no. What to say? You don't. You're not allegiance, but sort of. You're the person that you love doesn't or shouldn't factor into sort of what your beliefs are, or what we would assume your beliefs are with, say, what's going on around you.
No, but that's another crucial important thing. Wouldn't yours and your partner's belief kind of intertwine anyway?
They would. So hopefully my assumption would be that she aligns more with sort of your more liberal, equality based.
Isn't he a liberal anyway?
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah,
even
he's
what I do know is that at that same engagement party, there were no black faces. Literally. So that makes me assume, you're really on a certain side.
Your side. Yeah, you've chosen. You're on a certain side. You've said what you needed to say without saying it.
Honestly.
And with that, the divide, it's a hard thing.
It's tight. It's a hard thing. You know what kills me as well? Man that say, I don't care. Like I don't care about black lives. I take a black life. Like, bro,
that makes no sense. Once again, you're completely defeating the whole purpose of what
but that's just ignorant individuals.
And that's the ignorant, issue. Uneducated people.
Yeah,
because I get what you're saying. Where, as a culture, as a people, we've always been different. There's always been different parts. Black people have never been one people. There's been or we have been one people, but one people with just different aspects within it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like an organism with just that do different things. It's like a community. No one person in the community is the same. Everyone's different. It's just how well you can get along with that person that defines the strength of the community. And I feel like as a people, we focus more on our inner community and keeping that inner community safe and keeping it protected from whatever we might think is trying to take from us or throw us back into whatever struggle we may have fought a way out of.
Your immediate family.
There you go. So immediate family, or people
like your mom
that somehow have managed to make it in. Because it might not even be your immediate family. You might have one or two friends. You might not even have any of your family in that immediate circle.
You get a lot of... Okay, so example, in Ghana, we don't have a word for cousin.
There we go. See,
so
things like
everyone is your brother or sister.
There you go. So things like that.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like those kind of things have kind of been lost in culture, where we haven't been able to see that, although we're different, we are similar.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Pose it to us.
This
is for you guys as well.
Yeah, fair. I saw this person. This person said, tradition
and ladies. Sorry, I had to before the LGBT.
Alright, man. We just listen. When someone says guys, it means everyone. What it does though. Like guys, what's good, guys? Oh man, shaking his head in the corner like. What do you mean, bro?
Sorry, guys.
Wherever you identify yourself.
Yeah, we're working on gender identity.
Fam,
we're working.
It's an androgynous term. It doesn't mean like guys, bro. Anyway. Guys, my people, whatever you want to call yourselves, however you identify, it does not matter to me. It's all love over here.
Amen.
Anywho, this guy said tradition is just peer pressure from ghosts. How do we feel about that statement?
Yeah.
Tradition is just peer pressure from ghosts.
Ghosts mean
your ancestors.
Yeah, not as in literally.
No. What are you thinking?
Ghosts is in ancestors. Yeah.
I don't agree with it. I feel like I want to carry on my tradition because like I like my culture, I like my tradition. I don't feel like I'm being pressured into it or.
Fair. I agree. I agree to a degree. I think that it depends on the tradition. Because there are some backwards traditions that you think, what's going on here?
We gotta remember culture, guys. Culture is not meant to be taken word for word. You're meant to interpret bits of it in order to kind of complete and make yourself
Example. Okay, cool. It is tradition at Ghanaian funerals to for women to serve, serve you drinks, food, etc. My mum had an effed up wrist. But she was still asked to serve, and I told my uncle, "Can I serve?" Because I don't want to have to watch my mum struggle with her damn wrist. It's like, no, what are you doing? What are you thinking? And I think, bro, fam, I would rather be quote unquote embarrassed in front of my family or whatever, the 200 people in attendance or whoever, than see my mum have to struggle over the course of like 4 or 5 hours.
Literally,
no one needs that.
Sense, literally. Go on.
And then when we don't follow tradition, they try to start calling us, westernized and everything.
Yeah, and then like you've lost your way, and I'm like,
if you try to take the tradition and make it your own, it's seen as if you're disrespecting the tradition. So when you think about it, nothing is ever the same.
No. The
way our grandparents would have received the tradition, the way their grandparents would have given it to them, is completely different. They took their interpretation from it, grew, made it into something that would benefit them, and that's what it is. It's the same thing with religion as well. It's something you're meant to make your own interpretation from in order to make you a better person. It's not meant to make you. That's meant to be a piece of you that then allows you to then continue onto the next part of your journey. Which is why I wanted to talk about this one thing before we do wrap up today.
Okay.
The protests. Now, a lot of people have been talking about the protests, and
we're speaking specifically to London.
Everyone.
Oh, everyone.
Because remember, protests are happening everywhere. Even though we might not hear about it, all the protests are happening everywhere, and they're all happening about the same thing. Remember, everyone needs to remember this, guys. This is all one message. No one has come out here and said, all right, I'm protesting because of this. No, everyone has tagged their protest under Black Lives Matter, which started with the death of a man who was killed, suffocated to death for 8 minutes and 46 seconds by a police officer.
Backtrack. So,
go ahead.
The organisation wasn't based off of George Floyd's murder.
The organisation wasn't based off it.
It was years prior to that. I would also say that if you do research into the organisation, they're sketchy.
Yes.
So like
So are the United Nations, bro.
No, but there's no true evidence to say
But there's
a lot of it is capitalism and Marxism that allows them, the originators, to profit off of racial tension. So I personally don't really associate with the organization. I associate with a movement.
There we go.
But I don't know for these man. I don't know for what they're really on.
Go on, sorry.
No, I think also you see the Black Lives Matter London page that they post a protest.
Yeah, they be.
I think that's why they changed the name to a tribe named Tahiri too.
Mm.
You see how they changed it?
Yeah,
the main one.
Because it's like you don't. There's a lot of.
That's what I'm saying.
There's a lot of controversy with the actual organization.
Yeah, because it's been attached to so many different things, and it's confusing people. I'm not gonna. It can be confusing.
Yeah.
That fly. It can be confusing. You've got like 10 different organizations saying Black Lives Matter, but they're all screaming a different message. You're like, wow, all right. Now I kind of get where Candace Owens was coming from, but still, get out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? You're still in that same boat with you and Tommy Robinson. You both of you rowing down the Jenny down the stream. But we need to understand this, and we need to remember when we're going out there protesting, we're trying to put out one message and one message only: Black Lives Matter, and we want equality. We've experienced these protests. Now, the protest I attended, I fairly enjoyed it. I gathered that message. I was getting that message. It was peaceful, quiet. Yeah. We were moving. The message was being heard. People were hearing the messages. People were getting involved. Passerbys were getting involved. We were there. We took pictures. Things happened. But
yeah, go on.
That hasn't been the case all the time.
Very true. So we have the Shukri Abdi protest that me and Tariq went to. Very wholesome beginnings. Call to prayer at 1. Nice. We started marching at 1:30.
I was even happy we walked through Oxford Street. Like,
Oxford
Street was open, so people
nice.
saw us marching through.
It was stopped by police or nothing.
Nah, exactly. They knew the route.
Oh, okay,
they knew the route.
So
we locked off Oxford Street.
Nice.
There was
no
one woman try. You should remember that woman try run some man over.
What?
Yeah, at the very start. Yeah, this. We will not say their colour, but we know what they were. These very the elderly, middle class, privileged individuals felt that they could just drive through the crowd,
do what they like,
and we just had to shout in their car because for some reason these fools decided that they were gonna roll down their windows as well. Just shouted in their car, tell you to relax.
Literally,
you jump in your car and sit down. What you did?
You know what? Honestly, Karen's gonna be like, oh. I believe they talk to us like that. We didn't do anything wrong.
Nah, shut up, man. It's all this fake. That's my biggest issue. Is this fake? Is that fake flipping arrogance or bravado? Like, we can do what we want. And then these times, as soon as someone gets onto you, you're like, I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna wither in my little chair. Literally. But anyway, roll through. Straight through Oxford Street. Beautiful. Which way we go then?
Stopped at Downing Street.
Downing Street.
He started giving speeches.
Yeah, so we started giving speeches. We all sat down at Downing Street, just outside Boris's office or whatever you want to call it. And he that Don from Arsenal Fan TV did a speech. Chunks did a speech.
Yes.
And then a few couple man did a speech. Now the two of them that you go on.
Yeah,
cool. So the two social influencers, what you want to call them. So Chunks and then that guy from Arsenal Fan TV, bro.
Wait, are you talking about the tall one? Lives.
The Somali Don.
Lives.
Yeah, probably.
Lives, I hope.
The one, yeah. He's calm, he's cool. But bro,
I hope he was
their speeches were waffle to me.
In what sense?
In the sense that it didn't actually convey any message. It was like, thank you, man, are doing a good job. And it was very specific to Somalis.
Yeah.
Every single speech was super specific to Somalis. And
I felt kind of outcasts at that protest.
Honestly, it's like imagine me as a black individual not feeling welcome in a black protest.
Now
Go on, sorry.
Sorry.
It might be insecurity from my part.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
It might be, but it was a lot of. It was, I don't know if Tariq would probably agree. It was a lot of well done to the Somalis that have come out here. Look at this. This is community, and this is what we need to do to ride out for Shukri. And obviously, don't get it twisted. The protest was 100% for Shukri Abdi, but it still was still part of an overarching theme of Black Lives Matter.
It could have been more inclusive of the actual message itself.
It could have been more inclusive of people there, because it was just well done Somalians, you man are doing this, good job, this is what we need to do. And then, as Tariq would probably say, it's not like I'm not going to assume or generalize, but these same individuals aren't really rolling with this level of energy for any other Black Lives Matter protest.
That's what I was going to say. So this girl tweeted, where was the non-Somali Black Lives Matter protesters at the Shukri Abdi protest? This was a Black Lives Matter issue and you all didn't show out for the black Muslim sister. And then I responded, so I understand your outrage, because obviously the protests were predominantly, East Africans, Muslims and whatnot.
Yeah.
But that exact same group, where were they for the last 3 protests? We've been to a couple of protests.
Yeah, we've been there.
Exact turnout was not there.
Nah, never. And imagine if that turnout was there.
Now, one thing I want you guys to, I'm just gonna say this.
Go on.
I'm playing devil's advocate, just hanging on that fence. It's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I just want you guys to realize something. Now, although you might say not a lot of Somalian people may have come to the other protest of Black Lives Matter, and they may say how
whatever you want to call it,
Shukri's protest was predominantly Somalian. You man were there, right?
Yeah.
You're not Somalian. You're not Somalian. I know for a fact there was probably one Somalian there. Now, does there need to be more than 2 Somalians there to know the Somalian community is supporting the Black Lives Matter? Does there need to be more than one non-Eastern African there to be supporting Shukri Abdi's thing? Because although there weren't that many people there in numbers, how many people are advocating for this cause in spirit though? They don't have to be, yes, the bodies are better. Yes, 100%. Yes, being there advocating for the cause, putting your fist up, that is what we want. But that's not the only way of doing things these days. There are other ways of moving the train forward. Yeah. Which is why I can understand why you said, Chunk saying, thank you to the Somali people. Yeah, my guy. To be honest, communication is extremely important, especially when you're making these kind of points. You've got to make sure that when you're saying something, you understand that this is not just us. This is a we thing. Yeah. This is a network.
Now, I can agree with you to a degree, and you're right. You're absolutely right in saying that. Obviously, you don't need to go to a protest to still be involved in the cause and say signing petitions and being outspoken on whatever platform you do have. However, my thing was the fact that they were very specific to Somalians, and which isn't necessarily, it's not a bad thing. It was like dismissal of the fact that we're also here, and it was the separation of Somalis from black people.
Yeah, I can understand
that. I was not with, because that in itself makes this
has been a connotation for a long time. Yeah,
it just detaches. It detaches
the whole cause.
It detaches Shukri Abdi's unfortunate and horrible event from the overarching several hundred different events that are going on globally
and are still going on.
And also, these man, they turned it into a motive.
Yeah,
they turned it into a motive.
Now I'm sorry guys. Once again, I'm gonna sit on this fence. Now,
I'm not. Okay, go on.
We know ourselves as a people. We are energetic. We love showing. No, listen. People might call it loud. People might say we're outrageous. People might say, but that is who we are. Come out in our culture. We love playing the drums. We love moving. We love screaming. We love shouting.
Okay, sorry. Wait. Go. Before you go, that was the case. For other protests though, remember we saw drums and stuff, steel pans, whatever you wanted to say, sort of celebratory. I was like, okay, this is nice. I don't know what we're really for, and for some reason, everyone always wants to do the damn electric slide at every single function. I don't understand why. I don't understand. It's every day. I love it. Yeah, but let's calm down. Yeah, we're trying to protest.
Yeah, a different one.
Honestly, the whole dancing and all of these things here, I'm just like.
But that is. Now,
but sorry. No, wait. Had you? Were you?
I was gonna say that, but those things, being flashy, playing music loud, that is our culture. And I can understand why people are doing it at protests. Like, cool. What we're trying to do is we're fighting for black lives, and we want these people to understand what black lives are. This is why we're here out there screaming. So rather than just screaming and shouting, we're gonna act it for them. We're gonna sing our songs. We're gonna do our dances. We're gonna make our noise. We're gonna wear our flashes because our colours. They're gonna see our flags.
Go on. No, sorry. No, you.
But I can understand what you're saying. It starts turning into a motive where we're now Bobby Schmurdering, and we're now turning it into Southwest Fest. Oh my days.
Nah, bro, go on, T.
Yeah, I don't want to be that guy, but let's, like you said, it's kind of like celebratory. What are we celebrating?
Exactly, really.
What
Really,
have we
what are we
accomplished so far?
celebrating?
What have we accomplished so far?
Like nothing
In that
whatsoever,
sense, I can
truly.
understand.
Except for getting statues taken down. What have we accomplished?
Yeah.
Have we even? Because they flipping, they fished the don that they threw out
yeah,
in Bristol back out.
You know they're
Like,
waiting.
haven't even done anything to Winston
They're
Churchill.
probably buffing him in the warehouse. Like, we're gonna get you back up, man.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
exactly. Come with some new gold plating.
We gonna get you back up, man. Don't
Bigger,
worry.
brighter than ever.
I can't read it on this TV.
But no, my thing deals like I can accept all of that. And that's very specific to say to certain cultures. Like, what are the man in Congo?
The people that are dressed in the flashy clothes.
Yeah, the
Leave
flashiest
them.
suits.
Shout out to my
there's a specific.
sappers out there. No, shout out
There
to
we
my
go.
sappers.
There we go.
Pops the father, if you watching this, you already know.
See it there. Now, see, that's specific to certain cultures. This was not it. This was our generation coming in. Bro, I saw I swear to you, I'm so positive of this number. 17 different men wearing the same turquoise tech fleece trackie. And then a couple man in the freshest white Air Force Ones. You know them summertime vibe ones. You know the lows. You know what we're on.
Come to impress.
Always come to impress 100%.
Yeah,
And your Louis V hats, all trying to link gal. Don't get twisted. There were so many beautiful East African women. There were so many.
Happy Somali Independence.
Happy Somalian Independence Day, cause boy. But that's not the point. That is not the point of any of it. But oh my God, Dylan, you don't even. Sorry, no, that's not the point. Let me compose
Black Lives
myself.
Matter, man.
Nah, bro. But anyway, forget all of that. Yeah, and then you want to go link all your friends and
The purpose is-
Now, do you remember when we were at Parliament and then
Yeah.
the girl in front of us was silent, yeah? She brought out her phone, started saying, Shukri Abdi,
Yeah,
Shukri
I'm
Abdi.
like, bro.
Put her phone back down and went silent. I saw like a couple more other people just put out their phones doing stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I kind of pre the vibe of like how the protest is going to end up. That's why we come out, like we left.
Yeah, we did. Like it got to Victoria. We were there from the start, and then it got to like 5:30. It got to Victoria, and we were just standing around. No one truly had any direction, so that's when we left. But I didn't see it. I don't know, Tariq, did you see it? But yeah, there were man singing songs like that you would play at a Somalian function. And then some man were actually drinking as if again this was some sort of celebration. Like, what are you truly celebrating? So, and that would be my issue with, say, this generation, making it into instead of it being social movement, it's a trend.
Yeah, it's losing its authenticity.
Exactly. And it's like, I don't know when the next protest is gonna be. As an individual, I don't feel powerful enough to start my own or continue with the same level of vim that we've been getting in the previous protests.
Don't you feel like, what you call it? Bros should just sit in this office like, I want to let them do their protest every
Literally.
They don't want to get anything.
It doesn't really mean much. It doesn't really stop or change anything.
No, this is
So there's a very good quote. I forget who is by, but pessimism is the biggest enemy of revolution.
Why does that sound like one of those Greek philosophers?
I don't know, but essentially, when you become pessimistic and when you think, woe is me, it's done. What's the point of this?
Yeah.
That's when they've got you.
Literally.
And
You've
I
got to
don't.
keep fighting. And this is what I spoke about, the turnover. We're riding this train. We've been riding it, but we're getting tired. Our bums are hurting. We want to get up.
But like, why in this country alone? Why are we tired? What are we truly doing?
Because, like I said, Kamal,
Fam, you've
we're
got like
quick with getting on the bandwagon and riding that train. But then when it comes to getting onto the next line, we never seem to know how to do it.
Okay, see, like, I don't know how this is going to be taken by either of you, but let me preface this, and you viewers, let me preface this by saying, I got bare time for John Boyega and I love everything that he's doing. However, since that protest, where has he been? And it's not to say that he has to do anything, and it's not to say that he's not supporting. I guarantee, I'm so positive he is supported in whatever he does. But at the same time, a man of your stature and your platform can really be pushing things through and moving forward.
Now,
I wish I had that. I wish I had the same sort of clout and energy and platform to then do what I imagine he would be doing. But again, I don't know people's circumstances. I don't know how this has affected his career, how this would work. I know. See, I saw that.
The deal to start doing black films.
and the who
It's
created
on Netflix. Netflix gave it to
Nah,
me.
who are the creators of Star Wars?
I can't
What's the
remember their
studio?
names.
Either way, they've come out and said that they support him wholeheartedly and da 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 da. So really, you do have
But
a
come on,
lot of.
Could they say any other thing? Think about it. Star Wars ain't as big as it used to be. Could they say any? If we look at all the companies that haven't said anything about the Black Lives Matter thing, they're the companies that know no matter what we say or do, even if we don't say something, even if we said something outrageous, we will still stand. The companies that have said something are the companies that know, number one, if we don't say something, we're gonna get some backlash. If we say something outrageous, we're gonna get some backlash.
I don't want to generalize though, because Ben and Jerry's are about they're about it. Like they're on top of what they do.
Yeah,
and they're very
Now, I'm
very
not saying every
radical in
company.
them. Yeah,
I'm just saying,
I know.
I'm saying the majority.
Yeah, I know. I just don't want want us to generalize.
No, I'm not. I'm saying as in big
But
companies.
you're right.
Companies that you would assume, like for example, number one, Amazon and that thing that went up with the AirPods.
Oh yeah.
Now I don't understand how that has already been swept under the carpet so easily
I
because
completely forgot about that.
exactly why? Because it's Amazon. If it was a company like Ben and Jerry's, and the covers of their thing all on the bottom of their what's it called, it starts saying red tear tear tear, you people are niggas, red tear tear.
Yeah.
What?
It'd be like
I guarantee Ben and Jerry's probably be bankrupt.
Yo, touching on that kind of stuff, can we talk about these meaningless acts that they keep doing, like changing the names of streets?
Malcolm,
to Black Lives Matter
bro, Malcolm X summed it up perfectly, bro. He said the white man will give you. I forget the quote completely, but essentially, get it up. Essentially, it's like the white man will give you false victories and equity that doesn't really mean anything, and things that don't really mean anything, instead of actual financial benefits. I mean financial gain, and any sort of equity. I.e., we're gonna change this road. Sorry.
Yeah, the white man will try to satisfy us with symbolic victories rather than economic equity and real justice, but whatever, I guess.
See it there. And that's what we've been saying. That's what we've been saying here. It's like, I'm not here for... Bro, when they wanted to do, Black Lives Matter on the back of T-shirts, on the back of Premier League teams, I thought, bro, what's the point of this? Like, we're not doing anything here.
What's the point of it? Monetization, bro.
Stop that.
NHS claps.
NHS claps. Then we're gonna paint
NHS
the flipping...
claps. Distraction.
Bro, we're gonna paint post boxes blue in support of the NHS.
If they really
go
cared,
buy them PPE equipment. What is
if
this?
they really cared, they would have got them PPE equipment.
Exactly.
If they really cared, they would have paid them more. I'm telling you, like he said, false victories, building a roof over your head while pulling the carpet from under your feet.
Honestly, you can't be satisfied with such menial, useless things, because they are just useless. Well done. Like, I've watched. I don't know. I watched Human Song get a goal in a Black Lives Matter kit. What does that do? What did that change? How did that change my life? It didn't do anything. And then,
like when he scored that goal, countries in Africa were now being restored, or when he scored that goal,
I was getting paid reparations for every goal he scored.
Literally. No,
useless, bro.
You just be seeing it on the back of his shirt. People are seeing it.
Stupid studies like we're gonna make this is very specific to football. We're gonna make a study on the fact that black players tend to be characterized by having pace and power, i.e. Yaya Toure, who is one of the most technical footballers you will see in your life, or Pogba, who is probably it's him or De Bruyne in being the most technical centre mid in the Prem easily, but you only see pace and power because of his stature, and it's just easy to do. But that speaks to the stupidity of commentators, because they just don't have vocabulary like that. But either way, what does that mean, bro? I don't care.
And also, have you seen the new initiative to start bringing more ethnic minority coaches into the leagues? They're now going to allocate 32 coaches to all of the Premier League, English League, and League 2 Championship.
Yeah. Like, okay.
Personally, I was like, okay. But then, does this man get a job?
No, but it speaks to Chris Hutton.
Which one? The Sky Sports?
No, the manager. He used to manage. Did he manage Brighton? Either way, he was doing well, and he just got sacked, and it was completely. Oh,
the black guy. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought he wasn't really doing that well, though.
He was doing well enough. He's doing better than they are now. So you think?
True. But not for. Actually, that's also, I understand. Sorry, that's me starting to forget about the whole privilege thing, because I know if that was probably a white, because you would have been given another season.
Honestly, easy.
And you know what? They probably would have got it backing, because I don't think they were out here saying, all right, we've got a plan, right? We want you to be our new coach. We want you to do this. We're going to give you this is at the end of the season if you do this. So I don't think he had any of those options. I think he went into that job thinking, right, if I can do well enough, maybe, just maybe,
I'll keep my job.
not even that,
What?
I might even be considered.
Wow.
Even though I'm already